Hello there, friends. It is one of the most anticipated videos of the year. It's one that I love making for you all. It's when I get to show you all of the new things that I have for a fresh start to a new homeschool year in the fall. So if you would like to see what I have picked out for my soon-to-be first grader, stay tuned. So you heard me right. This video is going to be just my first graders materials. I still, at the time of this video, do not have everything for my rising fifth grader as yet, so I can't show you all of his goodies. But I am going to show you this because so many of you are asking me what I'm using for fall, and I'm trying to give you as much information as I can because I know you are trying to get information about things you might want to purchase, and I go to YouTube to hear from other people too, so I understand that this is helpful to you to see what I'm using, but I just don't have that curriculum picked out yet for my son, at least in all of the subject areas. So what I'm going to do today is show you things that are just for my first grader. There are a couple things that she will do together with my son, and I'm saving those for my son's curriculum reveal video. So there will be a couple more things added to her stack that she will do in our together time. So I am just showing you things now that are just for her, just for my rising first grader, and that's mainly her craft and story time, her math, her phonics and spelling and reading, and that's it. So I will show you what I have picked out for her, and I'm going to start with things that you haven't seen yet because I have done actually quite a few videos about her new material already, because a lot of it is by a certain company that just had a sale, and I wanted you to see it and see how I'm using it so that you could purchase during the sale if you wanted. So I really showed you a lot of this stuff already, but I'll show you the things that I haven't shown you first. So I did, of course, pick up the book of crafts for first grade. If you follow me here, you know I love this book. It is based on a bunch of read-alouds here, a whole list of read-alouds, and then I actually haven't even looked. It doesn't look like they have a second section after that. It looks like it's just based on the read-alouds, and in some of the other books, in the preschool book and the junior K craft book and the kindergarten book, they had kind of additional lessons at the back that weren't based on a read-aloud, but it looks like all that's in here is just based on read-alouds. And these crafts are so fun and simple, and yet they're not just your average, paper and crayon crafts. They're pretty creative, and my daughter really likes them. So this is the first thing. This will be used with my daughter in our special time together when we do the read aloud, and we work on her recitation, and we work on her craft time. So I still have the first grade recitation, sorry, I almost said kindergarten, the first grade recitation that we used for my son. So I will just print out a fresh copy of that and use that during story time and craft time with my daughter in the fall. Now for math, we are doing Singapore Math 1A and 1B with my daughter, and we probably will start 1A before this school year is out because she only has like 2 pages of math left, and we're just going to motor on into the next book, I think. And so this here, I just have the workbook. So this is the black and white workbooks. That's all I have because I have still the Heart of Dakota Little Hearts for His Glory guide. And in that guide, in the math box that's listed for every day, they have real simple and fun teaching object lessons for these. So I don't need the home instructor's guide, and I personally don't feel like I need the textbook because I'm just going to be teaching these lessons with object lessons that are provided for me in that Heart of Dakota guide. So I did that with my son, and it worked out really well for second grade and third grade, for second grade, and I'm going to do it this coming fall with my daughter for first grade. So that is math. Handwriting I've already shown you, but I will show you again. Just to so you can get the whole picture. For handwriting, I have my own handmade handwriting course that is pulled together resources that other people have made. So I didn't make the resources in here. I just kind of pulled them together from online. I will leave a link below where I showed you how I did that. And part of the lessons use this Draw Right Now series. So that is her handwriting for first grade. And then for phonics for first grade, I'm looking here. We will start off the year. I've done a complete video on first grade phonics with Memoria Press, and that's what we're going to use. So I will leave that below as well. And it kind of gives you the timeline of these books, like when these are used and when the other things are used that I will show you. But I actually have, let me show you this here first. I actually have the first grade reading plans. I have not yet put this into a folder or binding of any kind yet. I haven't decided what I'm going to do about it, if I'm going to leave them loose leaf or bind them. So I just kind of have them tucked away for here, and those will be our lesson plans and tell us what to do each day out of these books and the other books that I'm going to show you. This here is First Start Reading Book E. So here's a teacher book and the student book. And that is done for the first 9 weeks, I believe, if I'm remembering right. Then we transition over to Storytime Treasures. There is grammar, there is phonics, and there is reading comprehension and elements of literature, all wrapped up into this. This is a tremendous language arts resource. Really all you need to add to this is handwriting, in my opinion. If you want to add spelling, you can. I don't really think that with a good phonics program in first grade, you probably really need spelling, but you could add it if you wanted. This here is the second volume of Storytime Treasures, which we will use when we're done with the first book. And then because Memoria Press teaches phonics and spelling and all that, and like that, and the kind of like a combined approach, we are going to use the traditional Spelling 1 program because they actually use their spelling program as a means for finishing up phonics instruction. So I'm not really looking at this as a spelling class. I'm looking at this as part of our phonics class. And as you can see, I just purchased the supplemental workbook. I have a whole video on this and how I'm using it. I'll leave that down below as well. And I have the teacher guide. So this here is just 2 pages per week. Okay, if you get the student workbook that goes along with this, it's a lot more writing, and that the writing portion isn't my goal right now. The reason I bought this was because they use it in their continuing phonics program. So once we're done with Spelling 1, I don't know if we're going to go on to Spelling 2 for second grade. Of course, that's still all up in the air, seeing how this goes, but they consider this, Memoria Press considers this as part of the finishing touches of their phonics program, which began in kindergarten. So that's why I purchased it. I just didn't feel like I needed to purchase all the parts of it. So just these 2 parts is all I have for the spelling program. But we're not going to do spelling tests. We're not going to really try to master spelling per se. We're using it as part of their phonics approach. Okay? So one more thing I will show you. This is just something I'm providing because my daughter has proven to be a voracious reader, and I don't know that the way that they've set up Storytime Treasures and the amount of reading per week there, I don't think that's going to be enough for her. So I actually, thankfully, saved my BJU Press stack of readers, so I will actually give her one of these readers at a time and just allow her to read me some of those stories once our lesson's done, because she just loves to read to me. And I have to say, out of all the readers I've used so far, these are my favorite as far as look and what's in the reader itself. Like there's actually little activities that you can do within the reader itself that can help gauge, whether your child understood what they read. It can help apply some content of what they read to real life. So, I love the little activities they have sprinkled. There isn't one for every story, but these are probably some of my favorite readers just because they're beautiful, they're kind of smaller, so kiddos can hold on to them easily, and the stories are, they're full of, I wouldn't say biblical truth, but goodness and kindness, and there are some Bible stories too. They do have some easy reader Bible stories in these, but I like the content of the stories as well. So these are going to be just kind of extras, and there are 6 of them. these here, I don't believe that, I think this edition is still available from BGU Press, but I did see like the newer versions of their readers, and it's like they're even better. So if you can't find this exact version, just know that the new versions are still really wonderful. But just look how colorful they are, you guys. I mean, what first grader wouldn't love to sit down and read these? So these are going to be put into her pile as well, because she really, really loves to read. I gave her the new phonics readers for her kindergarten recently, and she sat down and read them all, like the whole book, in one sitting. Like she sat there and read the whole thing. So got a reader on our hands, which is always fun, but I wanted to provide some more reading for her just so that I could feed that reading appetite. So that is what I have for my rising first grader. That's just her stuff. She will sit in on science and history. Kind of. I'm not requiring the history part, but I think she'll want to because of what I'm picking. I think she's going to enjoy it, but I'm going to wait and show you all of that when I reveal my son's rising 5th grade choices. So I hope that holds you over until I have that video ready for you. I thought I'd show you what I have for my daughter as a way to kind of whet your appetite in a way, because so many of you have been asking me what I'm using for fall, and I get it. I know you want to see, but I just don't have it. So this was a way to kind of give you something, okay? I hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know down below if you're using anything that I've picked here, or if you're going to try something along with me this year that I have in my stack here. I would love to know any tips and tricks you have. If you've used this material already, that's always helpful. So please leave all that down below, and go ahead and like this video. If you like curriculum reveals, they're my favorite video to watch. Let me know that you like them too by hitting that like button. And if you're not subscribed, I would love for you to hit the subscribe button as well. All that does, you guys, is it allows other mamas to find my videos more easily. That's really all it does. That's really all it does, because the more subscribers and more likes, YouTube, will show that video to more people. And if you think these videos are helpful and would like other homeschool moms to see them too, then just go ahead and hit those 2 buttons real quick, and then these videos will get out a little more easily to other mamas. Okay, so go ahead and leave your feedback down below. I will check that out, and I will see you in the next video.